I want to talk about you securing your financial future and why it matters more now than ever. I really hope you've been paying attention to the job market, and I'm sure you've watched the news. I am so certain, or I'm hoping that you have been paying attention to the political climate and learning that we have some new realities, right? So there is a lot of uncertainty right now in the job market, in our economy as a whole, in our society. And there are so many things going on, to include massive layoffs. And so I want to help you to navigate through what's going on right now as a woman who is a high achiever, someone who is established in your corporate career, and you're looking for a secured way to secure the bag. And it's not so much anymore, and really never has been, at least in the last decade for sure, in the corporate arena. So if you are someone, and I'm sure you are, that's why you clicked on this video, who is looking to learn how to navigate through the complexities of what's going on in our world today, particularly when it comes to layoffs, and how to secure your financial future, meaning your near and far future, and set up your family and yourself for success right now, then we need to go ahead and get started. And I want you to stay tuned and certainly share this video out for others who need to hear this message. And if this is the kind of content you're interested in, please do subscribe to this channel and make sure you click the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode whenever I drop a new video or go live, okay? Here's the deal. We have the new, but the old, right, administration in the White House now. They have taken office. I'm talking about the Trump administration. I say old but new, or new but old, okay? It's really the old administration that has resumed the White House. So there are some new people in that political party that wasn't there before when Trump was in office, but we have some things that are going on as it relates to Project 2025 that have been put into place. And there are a lot of populations of people, especially marginalized groups, who are being affected. Who are those people? Those are women of over 40, women of color, and women of the LGBTQ plus community. And those are the population of people that I serve and cater to. Okay, so we need to be very well aware of what our options are. And we need to talk about some of the actions we need to take, some of the steps that need to happen, some of the solid decisions we need to make right now before it's too late. Okay, gone are the days where there is a such thing as job security. That has been over with for a very long time now. There are so many missed opportunities with women looking elsewhere for job security. And by job security, I mean, listen, we have got to learn how to thrive outside of the 9 to 5. Okay, we have got to look for alternative options that serve us well. And corporate America right now, that I consider to be now a corporate circus, there is so much that has changed in the landscape of corporate America in recent years that it doesn't even make a whole lot of sense to keep a 9 to 5, to be quite frank. Okay, so I don't want you to fall victim to all of what's going on when it comes to the massive layoffs. If you have not been affected by one of the layoffs yet with some of these corporations, it doesn't mean you are exempt. You don't know when your day might come, and there's no better time than now to prepare. We've always got to stay ready so we don't have to get ready, okay? That is the motto. Stay ready so we don't have to get ready. So what does that mean? That means right now we've got to consider what is going on in our nation right now. A lot of horrific things, right? There are some tumultuous tragedies that have taken place recently. For example, wildfires in California, and I happen to be in SoCal as of this recording right now, so I am very well aware of what's going on. It hits close to home. Thank God I don't know anyone personally who was affected, but I still feel like the people who were affected could have very well been any of my loved ones, or me. It could have been me. Okay, so my heart goes out to those who were directly impacted, and there are a lot of people who are displaced right now a lot of people displaced because their property has burnt down, their homes, they have no place to go. They're literally homeless. Okay. And there have been a lot of people, thank God, some really good people in this world still, who have reached out to help these individuals, myself included. And you might be a person who have, contributed as well. And if not, it's not too late. Okay. Because again, it could happen to you. It could happen to one of your loved ones. There's just so many things going on, but that's just one of many examples where not only did these people lose their homes, but they've also lost their jobs. So that's, they're going to have to go through a heavy grievance period. Do you know what I mean? And we want to make sure that we're thinking about those kinds of things, because we never know if and when it would actually be something that we experience. God forbid we do, but we always want to be prepared. I have had to go through, over the last, I would say 3 decades, a rebuild of my life, reinventing myself, redesigning my life, rebuilding, starting over. Now, I don't know what it feels like to start completely over from scratch, meaning, I don't have a home to go to, but I have lost a job. I have been ill prepared, and it did cause financial setbacks, and those financial setbacks created a whole domino effect and some lingering issues throughout the years. And I've had to do that a time or two where I had to rebuild my life. Okay, so I know what it is like to be in the rebuilding phase, not to the extent that some of the people who have lost their homes will have to do. But I do know to some extent I have had to go through that grievance period where I have had a loss that was significant enough, and it directly and negatively impacted my life. And thankfully, now I will tell you, the times that I had to go through that, it felt the worst when I was ill prepared. But it definitely made a lot of sense once I went through that once to be prepared from then on, right? So we often feel like, well, it doesn't feel so close to home when it hasn't happened to you or somebody that you know. But trust and believe, okay, you don't want to wait for that time to come where you are now the person who is experiencing this and you never thought it would happen to you until it did. So that's really important to know. So yesterday was the first best time to make something happen and to prepare, okay? Today, if you didn't do it already, today is the next best time. So let's go ahead and talk about ways in which you can prepare for what might be the inevitable, okay? And 2, I want to kind of go back to those marginalized groups of people, LGBTQ plus communities, women of color, and women over 40. The reason why those particular individuals or groups of people or that population has been impacted the most is because of the administration that is now in office. Okay, Trump kept his promise. He's doing exactly what he said he's going to do. There has been, and it's not even just women of color, but it's also like like immigrants, right? That are affected by the deportation. So in the DEI rollbacks that are there, or the whole purpose of the DEI policies were to protect the groups of people, right? But now we're being targeted. So we have to be well aware of what is going on so that we can understand how, we just might actually be directly impacted without even realizing, why we weren't before. Because before there was the DEI policies in place, whereas now they're rolling back, right? So there are large corporations like Target and Walmart and Amazon and so on and so forth, very large corporations that had these policies in place that again protected these groups of people, and now those groups of people won't be protected. So if you fall in one of these categories, then you should be a little bit nervous that you too could have, who knows, something happened to you, right? And then let's not talk about, and I'm not even going to get into the whole breakdown of ageism, but ageism is a real thing, okay? One of the things that is critical for you to do right now, and I say this all of the time, I talk a lot about multiplying your income streams and diversifying, right? So it's never been safe. It's always been very risky to put our eggs in one basket. So I always like to encourage you and the women that I work with to be thinking outside of the box. Be innovative, be creative about what else you can do and how you can package up your skill set, your level of expertise, your educational background, and really package yourself up as an industry leader and an expert and a service provider so that you can do some coaching or consulting or something on the side, or take on some freelance work, or do a side gig, or better known as a side hustle. I just don't like to use that term because I am anti-hustle and anti-stress and struggle, and I am pro-health and happiness. So I don't talk about hustling on this channel because it leads to burnout. Okay, and that's a real thing. And a lot of women are experiencing that right now. So for me, I like to talk about side gigs, or better yet, a side business that is more sustainable, that can turn into your main business. And you can take that main business, the income you're making from that, and branch off to make to generate income or revenue from multiple income streams, okay? Without hustling at all. So I'm not ever advising or, telling anyone to just go out there and start doing a bunch of things and make money. Absolutely not. On the contrary, I am saying, to take the one income source, your freelance work, your side business, right? And your independent contract work, which is similar to freelance work, but you're a 1099 person, right? And so you would be able to promote your services that way. And there are many other ways to diversify your income, like affiliate marketing, right? And you can have a course, you can do workshops, you can sell other digital products, right? eBooks, e-courses. There are, it runs the gamut, right? So, and I'm not going to go too deep in that because I've already done many videos where I'm talking about exactly how to diversify and what kinds of things you can think about to diversify your income streams. I just want you to be considering that you should be. Now, I also like to say, listen, go ahead. Hopefully you've been saving, okay? Building up your savings. You always want to have emergency funds and a cash cushion for a rainy day, right? Like we grew up learning that. However, oftentimes we will tap into it, or we won't build it as quickly because we haven't ever had to use it. So we use that as disposable income or discretionary income, but that's not necessarily the smartest thing to do right now. Okay. And I would not even suggest necessarily having your money just sitting in savings, because is it really accruing enough interest? Even if you have it in a higher yielding, market rate type bank account, where you're accruing more money than you would if you just had it with one of these big banks, right? I also have that set up, right? But you cannot save your way to wealth necessarily, right? And you cannot work in corporate America for the rest of your life and build wealth. It just doesn't work that way. What you can do and should do instead is invest your money in something that's going to give you a return on investment, such as stocks, real estate, business. Those are the top 3 things that people who are successful and wealthy, not just rich, but wealthy. So we've got to start having a wealthy mindset, right? A rich mindset, and be thinking like wealthy people think, and not just putting our money in a savings, which is collecting dust right now, but actually being able to take our hard-earned dollars and put it into some sort of investment that's going to give us a really great ROI, okay? So also, this is a time to decrease expenses. And by that, I mean unnecessary expenses. We should always be thinking about, but especially now, how, we need to compare what are the niceties versus what are the necessities. So, right now in this uncertain, in these uncertain times, with this economy being very finicky and, with inflation going up and with this new administration in the White House and with all of these different changes so quickly happening and these various tragedies and the corporate layoffs and all of the things, we need to really be making sure that we not only put aside for a rainy day and have a cash cushion and emergency fund and diversifying, but we also need to make sure that we are decreasing expenses in the sense that, yes, I know we're used to living a certain lifestyle and we're used to having the luxuries that we want to have. And that's what we work hard to do, is to enjoy, the money that we spend and do the things that we like to do, not just work for the money, and not be able to do what we really enjoy, what brings us passion, or what brings us joy and what we're passionate about. But right now, I would say you don't have to stop, indulging in those things, in the good life, right? But I would advise you to slow it down a bit, to just pause and rethink if, the things that you're purchasing right now, the things that you're investing in right now, are they just temporary, quick, satisfactions? Is it just something that it's in the right here, right now kind of moment where it's giving you instant gratification? Or is it something you really need versus something that's just nice to have? Do you understand? So let's focus on what we really need, not so much what's nice to have, so that we can take those same monies that we're spending over here and over here and over there and build up our cash cushion, save for a rainy day, but mostly putting our hard-earned dollars into the things that, again, are going to give us a return on our investment and that is going to allow us to make more money from it, because we don't want to just manage our money. There's not but so much decreasing of expenses we can do. There's not but so much savings we can do, right? Neither one of those things are going to get us to a place of being rich or wealthy. But the things that will is by taking those monies that we're putting over here and there and everywhere, that for things that we don't even need right now, they're just things that we want, and taking that and spending it on, or not rather spending it, but putting it into the things that's going to give us an ROI. Okay. I can't drive that message home enough. I know I've, said it enough already, but I need you to hear me and hear me clearly, because it's so critical right now more than ever. Okay. Like I said, I've just had so many times where I've had to rebuild my life, and it just was never fun to do it from a place of desperation, having that desperate energy, because then you make really bad decisions and those bad decisions will follow you for a long time. So I want you to work smarter, not harder. I don't want you to burn out from doing things because you waited for the last minute to find alternative employment or alternative work altogether. And now you're trying to scramble around to figure out how are you going to be able to bring in income. You already want to be thinking about that right now. And by the way, I just did a video on how there are a lot of jobs out here, or employers rather, companies who are scamming people. And I want you to be safe. I want you to protect your privacy and make sure that you're not buying into just, so again, going back to that desperate energy. When you're in a desperate place, you'll damn near take whatever you got to take because you don't want to be broke, right? You don't want to be homeless. You don't want to be, if you don't have a full support system, people who can support you, if you are the one in your family who always has the money and the financial stability and people look to you to help them when they're in a bad spot, who are you going to go to? So you might be in a place where, like even if you get a severance package, that's only going to, last for so long, right? And even if you have, a PTO payout and you get a lump sum of money, that's not going to go but so far. And even if you get on unemployment temporarily, that's less than a third of your salary. And if you're a high income earner, it doesn't matter. You're still going to get the low end of what unemployment will provide for you. It won't be barely enough to scratch the surface of your bills and your mortgage or your rent and your car payment and whatever else you have going on, keeping food in the fridge, gas in your car. So you don't ever want to be in a tough spot like that. So trust me when I tell you, it is best to prepare right now so that you, again, can be ready for what may or may not happen, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. Another cliche that we grew up learning, right? So don't wait for it to be too late. Don't procrastinate. Don't hesitate. Do it right now. Okay? Because now is already too late if you're just getting started, but it's better than waiting until it actually something horrible happens to you. So don't allow yourself to get in that predicament. Okay? Also, if you are ready to transition out of corporate America altogether and cut the corporate cord before they let you go, you can let them go, but you haven't yet devised a plan, a strategy, and you haven't started to implement that. If you don't have a roadmap yet on how exactly to do that and what are the steps to take, aside from what I shared with you right now, if you want help with, a customized plan, I can help you with that. But I also want to offer you my quick start guide on how to cut the corporate cord so you can become the CEO of your business and your life. All right. So you can look in the link or click the link below in the description. I'll also make sure it's in the pinned comment so you don't have to really search too far. And so be sure that you get a copy of that and download it today so you can get started on 7 simple steps and how to make a smooth transition for yourself, okay? And you will have the opportunity to get on a call with me. You can find the link there in the guide, but you can also find it below in the description. So I really hope this has been valuable for you. If it has, please do share this out with at least 3 people you know. Save this video and do subscribe to the channel for more content like this, okay? I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Be sure to watch the next video that YouTube recommends. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.